Yo, what is poppin', guys? We are back on Pokemon Showdown today for week 10 of the NPL. We had two wins in a row, I think, and we are at 5-3 right now. And we are facing RecklessBat, aka my boy Nick, aka coach of the Texas Tyrantrums. And this is a kind of important game because Nick actually is in our conference, not in our division, but in our conference. And like if we lose to him, we have the same record, and then like the playoff picture would be really close. And if I win, I would say I basically clinch playoffs with a 6-3 record right now because then I only would have to win one more game, I think, and I feel like my matchups inside my division, will the last which will be the last 3 weeks, like 3 division games. I think my matchup there is pretty solid, so that I can at least get one win. Obviously, I want to win out, so I have a shot at the number one seed in the conference. But after, should I win this, one more win should be enough to guarantee make playoffs. And even if I lose out, I still have a solid shot, depending on how Nick and Eric and the other guys play. So definitely an important game versus a very interesting team. Nick's team basically is Fat Mons plus Thundy plus Scolipede. Like he doesn't have a lot of fast threats or a lot of potent offensive threats besides those two. Obviously you can run like a Carmine Fable or an offensive Venusaur, Mega Venusaur obviously, but like Thunderous and Scolipede are his main ways of offense and of speed obviously. So pretty interesting squad, but a squad that I felt I had a very good matchup against, and I built a very cool team that I think will put in quite some work. Reuniclus here is a calm mindset with Recover, Psychic, and Toxic. Toxic obviously to 1v1 Unaware Clefable or Unaware Quagsire, both of which he did bring. I figured he would bring both Unaware because Clefable with an Unaware set kinda checks my Manaphy, my Tailgore Manaphy potentially, and Quagsire is one of the few Zard X counters in the game. Zard X here is a Toxic, Dragon Tail, Flare Blitz, and Roost set. Adamant to guaranteed Oko, max defense, Fable, and Toxic obviously to catch the Quagsire on the switch and go from there. Dragon Tail just to shuffle my opponent around because his only hazard removal is the Komala, and I can pressure that with my Fortress because I have the Rocky Helmet and can set up rocks versus him indefinitely basically. Togekiss is a classic wall breaker set with the Sky Plate, Air Slash Roost, Heal Bell, and Nasty Plot can potentially set up on Quagsire and just flinch it down. Can't set up on Komala, which shouldn't do too much damage versus me. Could potentially get one boost versus Venusaur if you like predict the switch or so, but I can also live one mod as Sludge Bomb, which is cool. I also live with Timid Thunderbolt from Life of Thunderous, which is kind of cool, and I live a Poison Jab from Life of Jolly, Scolipede from Full, I think. Fortress, as I said, is a Rocky Helmet set with Stealth Rock, Volt Switch, Gyro Ball, and Rapid Spin. Greninja is a Spiker, but Life Up set with Extra Sensory, Gunk Shot, and Hydro Pump. Pretty much hits his entire team for 2 KO besides potentially AV Komala, and especially defensive Venusaur. Like Venusaur is so fat it doesn't get 2 KO by Extra Sensory unless I'm Specs, and I didn't want to run Specs because this function is a wall breaker that should be able to catch stuff on the switch in and like go for different moves. Usually I don't like the item Life Orb because I like health on my mons, but on this Greninja set it just makes sense. And Archeops makes its season debut. I traded Drifblim for Archeops a week or so ago, or 2 weeks ago, because I felt Archeops would give me a backup rocker, a nice suicide lead on offensive teams. I want to go that, and like it hits incredibly hard. Like all Drifblim was doing was like some Z Memento shenanigans, which I don't really need it. This set here is a Scarf set, max HP, max attack, and like I don't need any speed investment to outspeed his entire team. That is like not Scarfed basically. He doesn't have an evident Scarf on the squad besides potentially a Thunderous, which I think would be his best set. And like I can outspeed everything else besides obviously a +1 Scolipede. So with my uninvested Archeops, I have Stone Edge Rock Slides because I don't want to miss in some scenarios Knockoff and U-turn. Pretty cool. Reuniclus obviously has a Tanga Berry to take on the Scolipede, which I forgot to mention. But yeah, that's the team. Looking at my opponent's team, he doesn't really have much for Uniclus. Even if he has like two unaware mons, I can just toxic them, recover stall them a little bit, and go from there. Clefable, even if he wants to spam heal bell, I can always toxic it back and like have more PPs, and I can like just stall him out, and it can bring in Zard potentially for a big hit. Zard, if it's like especially defensive Clefable, has a shot to OHKO Clefable after rocks, which is pretty cool. Because like especially defensive kind of makes sense versus a mana fee potentially. And also like Scolipede not Scolipede, Togekiss looks really good. Once I get rid of the Thunderous, nothing really can revenge me, obviously, besides Scolipede. But if I don't take damage, I can't beat the Scolipede 1-1 anyway, because it just drops to +2 Air Slash, which is cool. Fortress is gonna be super important, I feel, because Scolipede is actually a big threat to my team. If I don't play my card safely, Scolipede could actually easily sweep through my team, so I definitely have to keep my Fortress in the back, not let it get too much weakened, so that I can revenge kill the Scolipede. And I can't let my Uniclus get hit by a U-turn from the Thunderous potentially, so that I can still keep my Tangerberry and can take a hit from Scolipede, which could be very important. I decided to lead off with my Charizard here because I want to get the Mega off early, because Charizard functions as my switch into Thunderous, and I don't want him to like be able to Volt Switch for free, because like looking at my team, I don't have a switch into Volt Switch, especially if it's Life Orb or Specs besides my Zard. So yeah, I want to get that Mega off early, and my opponent leads with the Thunderous, which is really good for me. I know that the T-Wave is coming potentially, even though I feel like T-Wave would be a misplay. It kind of makes sense for him to keep Zard in check, even though like Quagsire is a very solid switch in. But like even if I get Thunder Waved, my Togekiss has the heal bell in the back, and I much rather have this Zard T-Wave than Toxic or anything, in case I don't get the heal bell off with the Togekiss. In my opinion, best bet my opponent could do is Volt Switch or U-turn out, which are very free plays. But I see the Thunder Wave potentially coming, but I don't really care. I just fire for Dragon Tail here, builds my safe spade, shuffles around Quagsire, shows me what his initial switch in is, and I get some chip off if he wants to switch out. And if he wants to stay in, he takes over 50, and I pressure him like afterwards with rocks that I could potentially get up, or like with just any other attack basically. So staying in and Dragon Tail is the best play that I can make potentially. He T-Waves me, I'm not sure if I agree with that, because looking at my team, I felt like Thundy was his win condition basically, and letting that take that much damage turn 1 is pretty interesting, but definitely good for me that I get the 55% damage of the Dragon Tail, and I get Scolipede, and I can easily take a Life of Earthquake. It does like 50% to me, so I decided to go for another Dragon Tail. He switches out into his Quagsire, showing that this actually is his initial switch in. I Dragon Tail him out again and get Thunderous back in. I know Thundy can't really touch me unless he's like a Focus Blast set, which would be like 50-ish, maybe 55 depending on the set, if he's Life Orb. But on this turn I think I go for the Toxic, predicting him to either go into Quack again or go into Clefable. He reveals the U-turn, and this damage is actually a physically offensive Thunderous, which is pretty interesting. Maybe he is defiant versus me, so that he can like T-Wave a Grand potentially, and also get a boost should I defog away. But I go for the Toxic as Clefable comes in, and this is crucial information here. Clefable gets hurt by this poison, and now I know that this is an unaware set that can't really beat my Zard, or can't like really set up versus me, because obviously I got the I don't have to worry about Calm Mind basically. Karma Clefable is a nuisance, and I would have needed to like potentially put it in range for a Gunk Shot of Gran, or just like go down to Flare Blitz Recall so that I can revenge it. And I don't want to have none of that. I just fire off an Flare Blitz here. If he's specially defensive, Flare Blitz plus Toxic will knock it out, and I would just go for it as he sets up his rocks. I go for the Flare Blitz, does 92, and Toxic will kill this Clefable here. I kinda over prepped for Clefable, I felt. If it weren't for Clef, I would have gone fully special on Greninja, which would have allowed me to go like max special attack instead of like a mixed offensive set. I have like 172 attack and 124 special attack or something like that. Something weird, but yeah, like I kind of overprep, but it's always good to overprep versus Clef because Clef can sometimes win games on its own, especially versus like, it could potentially just set up versus a paralyzed Charizard. Even like if he gets enough T-Wave paras, he can potentially win with that. So yeah, Scolipede comes back in. I don't want to take an Earthquake. And just switch out into my Fortress. This gives me a chance to yeah, shoot his Earthquake and Rapid Spin the rocks away, which is nice. He has to switch out basically because he like doesn't want to take a gyro ball or anything. He doesn't have to speed boost here. I think he like made a mistake there. He didn't put it on his Scolipede when he prepped. Doesn't really matter in this game unless he wants to outspeed my Scarf, Archeops or my Greninja, but in both cases he has like to hit a Mega Horn, and I'm not sure if on Greninja obviously I'm not sure if he has packs coverage for the Archeops. So as you will see later, him not having speed boost doesn't matter at all in the game. It just was like kind of confusing for him, but I actually didn't even notice until after the game that he wasn't speed boost. I kind of didn't, didn't pay attention. So Quagsire comes in on my Rapid Spin. I kind of wanted to set up my rocks here, but I felt like going into Reuniclus was the safest play because I can shoot any hit. But he shows the yawn, which is kind of annoying. Tries to like preventing me from setting up, which is smart. Go back into my Zard here as he tries to toxic me. I don't know why he tried to toxic a Reuniclus that was already yawned. Like had I stayed in, I basically got a free command of got toxic and wouldn't have gone to sleep, which is kind of interesting. But yeah, goes for the toxic here. I will just try to toxic this Quagsire because it's annoying as fuck. Get the toxic off, which is cool, but he hits me with an Earthquake. I kind of made a bad play going into Zard, but I just didn't want to take anything. Didn't want anything to take a yawn again and get put to sleep. But this Quagsire really to yawn, toxic, and Earthquake, so it means that it doesn't have Scald. So it's basically a free switching for Togekiss and Arceus all the time. Togekiss can abuse this as setup for them because I have the heal belt for the toxic, obviously. And like if he has recover or encore, that's like I think it should be recover on his last move. I think he reveals it later, but if he has encore, that would kind of be annoying, but not too bad. I will go for one roost. No, I don't go for a roost here. I thought I did. I just switch out here into my Togekiss. I think I go for the heal bell here on this turn. Maybe I go for the Nestbot first. No, I go for the heal bell. I don't want Zard to be parried because I want to roost up potentially on the Komalo or Venusaur. Goes for Toxic, which is fine. I can just heal bell that off again. Quagsire is not beating me 1v1 at all as my opponent switches out into Komala. I think I will go for one Air Slash here to try and engage the damage potentially. Like, and this is a especially defensive, potentially AV Komala here, obviously. Go for one flinch, just to see what kind of set it is, and get the Komala here on the Utah with the Rocky Helmet on my Fortress, which is nice. That gives Venusaur a switch in. Kind of unfortunate, but I predict him here to not go for an HP Fire because I have Zard in the back. HP Fire would give it a free roost basically, and like HP Fire, I don't even think he has it on his Venusaur. He likes to run knockoff on there. He obviously has to have dual stab potentially because otherwise he couldn't hit my Togekiss for shit or my Greninja or my Manaphy. And then he has to have the Synthesis. Like that's the 4 moves I expect. I don't think he would run HP Fire solely for the purpose of hitting Fortress, which isn't really a big threat to his team. So I decide to stay in, take the knockoff, and go for the slow Volt Switch here, giving me some momentum, which is fine. I think I go into my I go to my Togekiss to try and like get a nest ball. I probably should have gone into my Charizard to roost up potentially, or get a big hit off with the with the Flare Blitz, but yeah, kind of a misplay on my part. But just fire off an Air Slash here, I think. Try to catch whatever he wants to switch in. Air Slash would have done like 23 to Thunderous, which would pressure him a lot. He breaks through the U-turn and breaks through the Air Slash and gets the U-turn. It doesn't really matter, but it gives him a free switch into Thunderous, and now I'm forced to sack my Charizard. Not too bad. It did its job. It got the Toxic off on the Quagsire, killed the Clefable. That's basically all it needed to do. And now I can go into my Greninja. I can't T-Wave me because obviously I'm a Dark type and I can just fire off an extra Sensory, which would have killed the Thunderous. Like it had a big chance to kill the Thunderous. Doesn't kill the Komala here, but also would have caught the Venusaur on the switch. But Komala goes down, gets his Sucker Punch damage off, doesn't really matter because Greninja doesn't care too much about his HP. It doesn't matter if it's 100% or it's 60. It still would have died to like any hit from Thundurus, Venusaur, and Scolipede from full, so doesn't really matter. Venusaur comes back in. Going to my Togekiss as he goes for the Sludge Bomb instead of the Giga Drain. Pretty bad for me, but he doesn't get the poison, which is nice. I think I have to go for the Air Slash here, but yeah, Quagsire comes in. You can roost up on this and like go from there. So Togekiss still at a solid amount of health. After that, even though he has to go for the Toxic here, I will roost up one more time. He could have potentially Earthquake on this turn, but it would not have done too much because I'm fairly bulky. So he goes for the Toxic. Now I realize like this guy is spamming Toxic. I don't have like, it would be stupid to go for the heal by here, knowing that he will just go for a Suicide Toxic again. So I decided to switch out into my Reuniclus. Magic Guard obviously doesn't care about being toxic, and Reuniclus is actually the mon that I want to have in versus anything that's left on his team. If he goes into Scolipede, I can just Psychic it, shoot the Mega Horn with the Tanga Berry. If he goes into Venusaur, I can set up Calm Minds on it. If he goes into Thundurus, I can still like switch out into my Fortress because I don't want to like let him pop my Tanga Berry with the U-turn and like I basically like Reuniclus is a no drawback play, and he goes into Scolipede. I take the Mega Horn with the Tanga Berry. That's 47% Life Up and Psychic knocks it out. Like Psychic was a guaranteed OHKO from this range, even if it was a max HP set. So that's kind of cool. And like that's why I told like that's why I said that the missing speed boost on Scolipede didn't matter at all, unless you want to like baton pass into Mega Venusaur or so. But I didn't feel like that was his play. I don't think he had the baton pass on the Scolipede anyway. So Thundurus comes in. I think I just recover up on this thing because he has to go for wild charges that hit himself in order to like do some solid damage to me. Knockoff does 35 as well, but I can recover up on it. And now I think I switch out into my Fortress because Reuniclus is at a solid amount of health. And yeah, I can like hit this Thumney with slow voltage again. He goes for the Thunder Wave and misses, doesn't really matter. I don't know why he went for the Thunder Wave, but it's whatever. Greninja comes in, I can go for the extra sensory to knock it out. And now it's Venusaur against the world. I will just stay in, try to flinch it down with the extra sensory. I know this extra sensory is a 2-hit KO from range at it reveals to be like a max HP Venusaur, but not like specially defensive or anything. And like I figured that this might be a modest Venusaur or so with like some bulk potentially. But I can go into my Reuniclus here, set up a Calm Mind, see like just 36 with the Giga Drain, which is a lot. I need to be at +2 in order to knock it out guaranteed from full against the Giga Drain damage back. So I spam recover a little bit here to like just make sure I get to +2. Kinda unnecessary because Psychic into Air Slash had it in the bag, but I didn't want Air Slash to miss at all. So yeah, try to play this as safe as possible. Go for a second Calm Mind here, then I will fire off a Psychic here. As my opponent actually crits me on this turn, but doesn't kill, and Reuniclus will be able to pick up the kill on the last turn. Reuniclus kind of been a hex magnet this season. I hope this doesn't like become a pattern in the playoffs or so. But we get the win versus Nikki. Shout out to him. Very fun game in my opinion. Brought some cool sets with the physical Thundurus. Was really interesting. Obviously Scolipede and Venusaur. Nice offensive pressure on this part. Komala didn't do too much basically, but Komala is pretty ass. Like next season he probably should draft better hazard removal so he isn't forced to run that thing. But overall a solid game in my opinion. And we improved to 6-3, which means we are very close to making playoffs. So that's pretty hype, I guess. Definitely make sure you check out Nick. RecklessBat is his YouTube and his Twitter. Very cool guy. One of like the longest members in the NPL. We become pretty friendly with each other over the years. Like he's also part of the ITL, so always have like some fun matches. And he's like improving a lot as a YouTuber and a player this last couple months. So definitely go check him out. Yeah, this is for week 10 of the NPL. Week 9. So week 10 we are facing Alpha and his Rocky Mountain Marowak, which who we beat in week 3, I think. But definitely gonna be an interesting game. He has a very threatening team, but I feel like we can potentially pull out a win and improve to 7-3 3 to clinch playoffs guaranteed. So hope you guys enjoyed. Leave a like and comment if you did, and catch you in my next video. See ya.